We welcome to the show Ritchie Neville. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Another nice day on planet Earth.
Great.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I can't complain really. Who would listen?
I don't believe you. You're not convincing me. Come on, spill the beans. What's going on?
Nothing much, just a normal day on planet Earth, really.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So most people remember you for being a member of the band Five. What were
Yep.
those days like in the 90s?
An absolute whirlwind. I've likened it before to it was like strapping yourself to a rocket, which just took off really fast and kind of just sort of had to hold on for dear life. And then you sort of I mean, we always said we wouldn't fade away. We'd leave at the top, which we did. We went number one and then called it a day. Um, and yeah, then it was kind of get your head around that sunshine. So yeah, it was crazy, but it was exciting. It was some amazing experiences. Opening the Brits with Queen, and anything we did with Queen was just absolutely unbelievable. Touring the world and working with the best producers in the world and learning about songwriting and all of it. It was an amazing experience.
So was that always really the plan to sort of bow out at the top?
Yeah,
It really
we all
was.
not exactly in the circumstances that we did, because we actually bowed out because two people were becoming mentally and emotionally not well. So we called it because of that, because you can't, it doesn't matter how many number ones you have, people's like health are actually suffering, you know, in hindsight. And I know that bands aren't run the way our generation of bands were run these days. And mental health is more of a thing, but they really work just like workhorses, you know, until somebody cracked, and that was the same for most, if not all, of the bands of our time. And I think you would have seen a lot of the bands last longer if they'd have run them like they did. I actually said to a guy called Richard Griffiths, who was the head of our record label when we were in charge Europe, and he ended up becoming One Direction's management. And we saw him at V Festival. We saw him at V Festival, and we were like, "Oh, hey, Rich, how's it going?" And I said, I've got a question, because I remember when we were years in to our journey, you could even see, like, even with really expensive photo shoots and like a bit of makeup under the eyes and everything, you could see we were tired. Like, we all looked really tired, whereas they looked fresh. I said, how come they still look so fresh? Why? And he said, oh, well, I've got a confession to make. We learned from your generation of bands. So, we if they have like 2 weeks on, we give them a few days off. If they have a month on, we give them a week off. If they have 6 weeks on, they have a month off, and they just go home. And so they have very intense work, and then they go and they see their folks and they have a life. So yeah.
Good they've learned from their mistakes, kind of thing.
Yes, and we were the guinea pigs.
So Keep On Moving is a great song that still gets played today. What do you think makes it so popular?
I think it's a very feel good song. I think a lot of the times, people have kind of stopped me in the street and sort of just and things like that, or in a supermarket, and just gone, oh, can I just shake your hand? And I just want to say that song's got me through a bad time, or something like that. And those are really genuinely special moments. It's all very well getting up and singing, and that's great, and people enjoying that, but those moments are really special. It's like, that's cool, and I'm glad to have been a part of that it could help you in your life. I think the words get on up when you're down. I mean, there's not one. It's part of the human experience, isn't it? We all have bad times. We all have times where you're asking yourself, well, why is this being thrown at me, and what is going on? And I think that song kind of encapsulates that kind of moment where you go, well, you know what is, but we can stay down or we can just get on with it and crack on, and that's kind of embodies that spirit.
Yeah, it's a great message, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have a new project, a new band project called the 998. Is that right? Or is it 998?
No, it's not. It's the 998. I knew this was going to come up. No, it's the 998, and yeah, it's mine and my great friend Liam Keegan's baby. Liam has been a really successful remixer. We met on a writing camp, and it's nice to be able to bounce ideas with someone, and nobody wants to sit there sort of doing everything completely on your own. So in that sense, it's just nice to have someone to work with. And it's been 20 years in the making for me to actually step out and start doing something creatively, sort of my own, and with Liam. And yeah, not that I've known Liam for 20 years, but for me personally, so it's really my creative baby. The first song is a very feel good, upbeat, summertime, happy tune, as your listeners will hear, because you're going to play it, Chris.
Yeah, of
And
course I am. Yeah.
and yeah, it's a very upbeat, and it's all under the umbrella of dance, but that doesn't mean to say that we're not going to go more. We don't know what we're going to do next. Yeah, this one's a bit more sort of piano house, a little bit more on the poppy side, but we're definitely going to get deep down and dirty. We could go little bit tech house, little bit, EDM, whatever. It's all under that. We don't know what we're going to do next. It's just a creative mishmash, and we ask people to join the tags at the 998 official, and just come along with the journey with us. We don't know what we're going to do next, and yeah, but we're just there for people, to get people moving, and touch people, hopefully, in the same
Yes,
way.
I think it's a good summer anthem. It's called Sunshine and it's going to be out on the 4th of August. Isn't that right?
That's right, on all streaming platforms on the 4th of August, all being well, because sometimes that can mess up, not for the artist's fault. But I've seen a lot of artists go, oh, it meant to come out, but Spotify have messed up. But it should be out on the 4th.
Great. So what was it like, the process of doing, are you doing an album? Or is this just a single?
So what we're doing in the beginning, we're doing it like, this is why we need the people to help us and really get behind us, because this is a completely independent project. This was born out of 2 years of being completely restricted out of work during like the lockdowns and stuff, where I just went, right, okay, life gives you lemons, get on up when you're down. Okay, I'm really going to focus on the producing and like production sort of skills and learning and everything. And yeah, then I sort of thought, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to sit on all these songs and these kind of skills that I've learned, or am I going to share them with the world and see where it goes and just let people hear it? So yeah, this is the letting the people hear it, the beginning of that journey.
I suppose obviously you want to see how this is received, Sunshine, but then there are plans to do more music as well.
Yes, so you asked about an album. At present, we're not going to just release a whole body of work. What our plan is to consistently release a song after song after song, and just gradually build it organically. Because you can do that now.
Yeah.
So which is why we need the people to just get behind it and come along on that journey with us.
It's kind of a singles market as well, isn't it? There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have that big machine, behind us. So, we are the band of the people. As the people.
So back to Five, apart from the song I mentioned, what's some of your favourite songs from the band yourself?
I tend to like the harder hitting, funkier numbers. So like I like If You're Getting Down or Everybody Get Up. I like the hoodlum aspect of that. Then rock and rap, I think, works really well together. Yeah, I'd say that. There was also a song because much to the record company's disappointment, but I told you that we broke up after going number one, but that was actually single number one after they'd spent millions on our third album, and we just called it a day after the first single. So yeah, there was a few on that song on that album that I was disappointed we never got to release. Like one we used the AC/DC Back in Black guitar riff. We sampled that and we made a song called Lay All Your Loving on Me, and I particularly like that song too.
And what was it like recording back in those days? Was it very different to now, or not really?
Well, actually, I feel quite privileged that the very, very first maybe 6 months to a year of my recording journey, we were still recording vocals onto tape.
Oh,
So they'd
wow.
rewind tape, yeah. And that just seems so odd now. We're in the digital age. It just seems so strange. But yeah, yeah, I was on the very tail end of that analog kind of recording. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's not drastically different, really. I mean, there is a lot more digital plugins and things like that for synths, rather, that you can use. But no, it's ultimately the same.
Great. And with the song "Everybody Get Up," that's a great one. Tell us about that.
So that was produced by the late but extremely great Dennis Pop, who came to fame as a producer and sort of worldwide fame with Ace of Base. And there's a great little story actually about how Ace of Base came to produce them. Was he on his first listen he went, yeah, I'm not really feeling that, but the cassette got stuck in his car, so every time he was driving to and from Stockholm, because he's a Swedish guy, big Viking guy, he had to listen to this demo that they had, and I think it was like All That She Wants Is Another Baby. And so he'd be listening and then he'd be getting ideas. And then he was like, call that band. I really think they've got something here. And it was only because fate would have it that this
Yeah.
cassette got stuck in that it all happened. Yeah. And anyway, so yeah, he was pleased, I think, because he'd been working with the Backstreet Boys, which are obviously a great, fantastic band, but very ballady and very boy bandy. And all of a sudden, the brief was the Bad Boys, the Hoodlums, so I think a lot of the producers that we worked with were like, okay, cool, like, yeah, all right. So we've got creative license to go bananas. So we were all given creative license to go bananas, really, and shake the pop kind of world up, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a catchy song, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, very catchy song, and yeah, a bit of an anthem. It still goes down a storm.
Great. Well, it's been great to
And
speak to
Michael
you.
Owen sang it on The Masked Singer, I think, which is kind of cool.
Oh, did he? What, Michael
Yeah,
Owen?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's Michael Owen.
What was he disguised as? Do you remember?
No, I can't remember what he was disguised as. I don't recall.
But he
No.
sang it. Oh, wow. Well, it's been great to speak to you, Ritchie, and your single's going to be out on the 4th of August, which is called Sunshine. We'll play it on the show now. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for listening, everyone.